Well, good afternoon. After a quite significant stint away from the painting hobby, I've come back somewhat with a squadron that I painted up recently. These are on the right. These are the Red Lancers, the Dutch Guard Lancers. And yes, definitely been a good few months now since I uploaded my last video, and I have to say I haven't painted up anything since really. These are the first unit to be painted, yes. Bit unfortunate, but I think during lockdown not going to the club definitely didn't help. Basically killed my enthusiasm for painting anything. I haven't watched any videos, I haven't, yeah, really haven't kept up with things. But I've definitely enjoyed painting these up, and maybe this marks some sort of gradual return into the war game. I've not gotten rid of any of my stuff, so everything's still here. I've got my paints and yeah, plenty of collections that are still here. I've sold off a few excess things, things I hadn't painted, and now I've going back into it properly. Now I've ordered some Pavlov guards. They're all painted up, and that's for a upcoming game. We're not going to try to do Borodino or anything like that, but yeah, French Napoleonic sort of game with Black Powder 2, I think, and Aled down the club has some Russians, and I'll bring the very few Russians I have, and I'll let him lend some stuff if I can then to make up the numbers. I'm not sure how I feel about the spacing on the cavalry bases I've done. I haven't done it to the sort of proper specifications. I just had some spare hard plastic like dividers from like a tool case, and I thought that would be okay really. They're roughly the equivalent of like three. I'd have to get my ruler out to measure them properly, but I think they're about three ordinary cavalry bases wide, or are they the 45mm width frontage? Sorry. So yeah, I suppose that would count if you're trying to field your cavalry. Yeah, not amazingly base. I sort of did a rush job, but I'm happy with how they came out, and I got a bargain on them as well. They've just like thrown into a box of cavalry I bought, so anything was a bonus really on them. I'm definitely going to want to do them properly at some point, maybe get some nice metals for them, because I know they're available, but these are just Warlord Games plastics, and I think they just add in the metal helmets, not helmets, sorry, the metal heads, and yeah, I bought them assembled, so they're actually not too much of a hassle to do really. They already had some black primer caked onto them, so I sort of trimmed off some mould lines, touched it up a little bit with just Vallejo, black, and then just went to work really. I like to paint the metalwork on them fairly early on in the process. So I did oily steel, I think it was. I didn't add a highlight to that, I don't think, so definitely need to up my game a little bit with various things, but the brass I'm fairly happy with. I just went in with brass and added in a little bit of gold. But then to tone that down, I did Vallejo sepia shade. And I think that works nicely over brass. You don't want it to be like stunningly bright, I don't think, and it sort of seeps into things like the ego bearer, the actual ego itself, so it gives like nice tone to the details, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, there's a sort of bugler at the back there, standard bearer. There's no officer as such. I actually used one of the officers in a commander stand, but I do have another one that I could have added into the unit, but I'll have to have a rummage and see what I've got left. But at least these are some cavalry now that I can use in the next game. The last unit I painted, I think, way back when, was are they the Chasseurs à Cheval, I think? Or I think they must be, definitely going rusty on the various units. I've got my Carbineers at the back, right in the back there. And those are one of my favourite units, just because I really like the white on them and the light blue as well. And they've all got the blooded sabres. Cuirassiers, I haven't done all my cuirassiers. I've got some that I've primed up but I need finishing, and then some dragoons here. in a moment of madness, I nearly sold my Dragoons on eBay, but I'm glad I haven't now because they'll do very nicely in the next game that we have. I've done about 12 infantrymen, but they're barely worth showing. They're more odds and sods, really. There's 2 bases of old guard plastics and 1 of, yeah, like Perry plastics as well. I'm not going to take my nice old guard metals, I don't think, to the next game that I have, because they're the Perry metals and I sort of agonised over them, so I don't think I could bear them like being chipped and things like that. I know that's really fussy of me. Yeah, I think I'd definitely use them in a game at home, but like transport, I don't have like decent cases for black powder units. I more have like the cases that've got room for single miniatures. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to put them in sort of those. I've got these boxes that you're all familiar with, but the name escapes me now. And so yeah, just bubble wrap job I think for a lot of the stuff. And yeah, I've got plenty of infantry to add onto these, and I think you've all seen the artillery pieces I did a while back. So French, more than enough stuff for the French for now anyway. And yeah, I think the lesson to be learnt is not to burn out on like mega projects and things, and just be realistic. But I have enjoyed catching up on some PC gaming and things like that, and definitely enjoyed going back to the club now, and we've done some Infamy. That was really good. I'm not sure how it works as a skirmish game. It's an odd size between true skirmish and I suppose it would be like more of a smaller battle. So it's an odd scale in that sense. But it looked really nice, and I really like seeing everyone's Romans and things. And I'm going to pick up some Romans from further down the club. I think some Gallic cavalry. I've got some Foundry Gallic cav that I already have. I think they're not so much the Romans as I think they're like allied Gallic cavalry. I might just use those as sort of for my Britons or Celts or something. I'll have to have a think. Anyway, you might actually know Phil down the club. He's moved to West Wales, but he used to run Salute, or was on the team that runs Salute. I suppose it's quite a big affair. So some of you from the sort of southeast of England might be familiar with him already. And yeah, he's been doing a lot down the club. He's got a lot of collections and things. And yeah, I'm going to see if I can pick up some Romans now. And yeah, that's it for now, folks. Glad that I'm making a slow start on things and have a rummage through these cupboards of shame, see what I can uncover, and hopefully catching up on some videos. So yeah, thanks for your patience if you subscribed. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next one. All the best. Ta-ra.